What if I told you you could instantly rearrange your Microsoft Excel data with one simple formula? No more clunky index or filter combinations, but just two powerful formulas: choose columns and choose rows. Whether you're looking to clean up messy data, create dynamic reports, or just looking to impress your boss, this is an Excel tip you do not want to miss. Let's jump in and see how we can get Excel to work smarter for you. So open in front of you, I've got an example file that I'm going to use to demonstrate these two functions: choose columns and choose rows. I've made this file available for you to download so you can open it up and follow along with me. You'll find a link to this file in the video description just directly down below. Look for the OfficeNewb.com link and you'll find a download to this file inside of that link. The file is called salesdata-01 and it's a .xlsx. It's an Excel file. So make sure you download it, open it up, and follow along with me. So the first of the two functions we're going to look at here is choose columns. This function is going to allow you to specify an array of data and then pull out specific columns from that array. Let's take a look. So open in front of you, I've got the example file, salesdata-01, and it's got three worksheets in here. We got sales data, choose columns, and choose rows. Let's first familiarize ourselves with the sales data. So here I've got a simple little list. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns, starting with salesperson each week, and then a grand total for all of those weeks. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows to it: salespeople, the headers, and all of their data. All right. So now, utilizing the choose columns function, I can point to this data, this array of data, and say, I want columns number 1 and number 6, and that's it. Pull that data out for me. So I'm going to hop over to the choose columns worksheet. I'll start out inside of cell B2, and I'm going to say equals choose, and I'll find that choose columns. It says returns columns from an array or reference. Great. I'm going to hit my tab key. That finishes it off, and I get the open parentheses there. So the first thing it wants to know is the array. Where's the data? So I'm going to go grab sales data, and I'll grab from B2 down to G7. There's my array. Then I'm going to hit my comma. The next thing it wants to know is which columns do you want returned? So here you'll see column number 1, column number 2, column number 3, ... We can keep going. So here I want the salesperson column, which is in column number 1, and I want the totals, which is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th column. So I'm going to put a 1 in there for the first column, comma, and then I'm going to put a 6 in for the last column. And that's all I want. I'll close the parentheses, hit my enter key, and I've got back just the first column, salesperson, and the totals column from that master array or that master list. This is the choose columns feature. All I need to do is just point to where the data's at, tell it positionally, numerically, which columns I want, and it'll return those back to me. Try this out. Jump into the exercise file, jump over to choose columns, and try out the choose columns function. The next function that we're going to look at here is the choose rows. So where the choose columns allowed us to point to an array of data and then numerically select which columns we want back. The choose rows column does practically the same thing. It says, okay, well, where's the data and which rows do you want back from that data? Let's try it out. So I'm going to hop over to the choose rows worksheet and I'll start inside of cell B4. And I'm going to say equals choose rows. There it is. I'll hit my tab key, finishes it off, opens the parentheses, and this is going to look almost identical to choose columns. The only difference is the rows. It's the rows that you want this time. So first step, I got to tell where the data is at. Where's the array? So I'll go to sales data. I'm going to grab from B2 all the way down to G7. So I got my entire array there. Then I'm going to hit comma. The next thing it wants to know is the numeric position of the rows, each one separated by a comma. So let's say I want the first row, the headers. So I'll put a 1 in there. Then I'm going to do a comma. And just for fun right now, I'm going to say I want S. O'Brien, which is row 1, 2, 3, the 4th row down. So I'll put a number 4. I'm going to close the parentheses, hit my enter key, and I should get back the headers and S. O'Brien's data. There we go. This is the choose rows column. You specify where's the array, where's the data, and then which rows numerically positioned that you want from that array. Try this one out. Let's take the choose rows function even a step further. So here, I've been able to specify the array. It's back on the sales data worksheet. It's all of that data. And then I specified that I wanted row number 1 from the headers and row number 4, which is S. O'Brien. But I want to make this a little more dynamic. Take a look. Here, I've got B2 cell where I've got a label, salesperson. But over inside the C cell, C2, I've got a drop down where I can pick different sales individuals, right? R. Smith, H. James, S. O'Brien, and so on. What I want to have happen here is when I pick a name from this list, I want this data to update and show me that salesperson's numbers. So in steps another function to help the choose columns or choose rows function determine which rows to pick from. We're going to utilize the match function. Now, if you haven't used the match function before, its job is to take a value, such as a salesperson's name, look into an array of data, such as this right here, and find positionally where that name shows up. It would then return the numeric position. Sound familiar? Choose rows says, hey, where's the array? But what position data do you want? Which rows do you want back? So the match function is going to help us find that name and return the proper row reference back to us. So I'm going to go back to choose rows. I'm going to click in the first cell where I created that choose rows formula. So cell B4. Now, if I look at my formula here, I need to modify this number 4. That's the dynamic element. I need that to switch from 4 to 3 to 2 to 5 to whatever salesperson I pick. So I'm going to wipe out the number 4 there. And in its place, I'll bring in the match function. Match. The first thing the match function needs is the lookup value. What's it looking for? So in my case, it's looking for the value of cell C2, which is the drop-down menu. Currently, it's empty. That's all right. That's the first thing it needs. Then comma. The next thing it wants to know is the lookup array. Where's it going to look up this value from? So now I'm going to hop over to sales data. I'm going to grab B2 down to B7, grab that entire column there, comma. The next thing it wants to know is the match type, and I'm going to tell it to find the exact match, or I'm going to put a 0 in there. 0 means exact match. I'll close that match function, close the parentheses, hit my enter key, and I got an error. Well, no problem. I got an error because there's nothing inside of cell C2. But if I go to the drop down and I pick H. James, there's H. James's data. If I go back up there, here's L. Carey, and here's K. Dunn, and so on. So cool. Dynamic, right? You create one formula, you get it to do all the work for you. Now, I can also do this just for fun. I'm going to grab that data. I'll go to Insert, and I'm going to create a chart. I'll do a pie chart here. Here's K. Dunn's pie chart. Right? Let's put it down here. And if I come up here and I change the name, let's go R. Smith. I've now got R. Smith's data. I go to S. O'Brien. There's S. O'Brien's data, and so on. One formula, dynamic, creating super slick dashboards, dynamic content, and really impressing your boss and looking for that raise. So try this out. This is the choose rows function. Now, we could also do the same thing with choose columns, and I want you to think about that, right? Pause the video, jump down into the comment section. Let me know where you could utilize the choose columns or choose rows functions. Try this out. 2 little functions inside of Microsoft Excel to help you master rearranging data and making more dynamic content. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you give it a thumbs up, smash that thumbs up button, the like button. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get updates about new videos that we add to this channel each week on Microsoft Excel and other Microsoft Office applications. So jump in, download the file, and practice these 2 functions, ultimately to save you time and make you more efficient as you work with large data sets inside of Microsoft Excel. I'll see you in the next video.